Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are looking at the Marvel Legends Black Panther Okoye Build-A-Figure Wave Invincible Iron Man. Here we have Iron Man in the front window box displayed with a very cool Invincible Iron Man logo there. We get another logo at the top. We get some nice artwork on the side. It is the same on both sides. We do have a great product shot here as well as all the other figures needed in this wave to build the Okoye Build-A-Figure. And up top we do have the read-up, technological upgrades and weapons help Iron Man bring order to any battle. And down here at the bottom we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's go ahead and get this open and take a look at Iron Man. And here is Iron Man outside of his packaging. And yes, I know that these effects here have some dips to them, but as I always say, I do try to do these fresh out of the package without doing any kind of modifications or alterations to how they come out of that packaging. So that is how they come out of the packaging. But don't let that deter you at all. This is definitely an awesome looking figure and very, very cool to get the updated Iron Man armor here for the comic version. Iron Man definitely comes with some very cool accessories, including these blast effects that you see here, as well as alternate hands and an alternate head. So we're going to go ahead and get a better look at all of his accessories, and then we're going to get a better look at Iron Man himself. And Iron Man does come with several great effects here. So we've seen these blast effects plenty of time, nothing new. They are a mostly solid blue. It gets a little bit lighter there towards the tips. We don't really have any multicoloring going on, just a lighter shade of blue going through. And as I mentioned, these were slightly warped out of the packaging, but you can usually fix these without too much issue, so pretty easy there. It does come with, of course, a Tony Stark alternate head, but we're actually going to save that and get a better look at that when we do the better look at the figure. So we'll set that aside for the moment. He does come with two different hands, or sets of hands. He comes with enough so you can have two-fisted or two of these blaster hands. So these blaster hands, the interesting thing is they don't have a hinge on them. For once, they are permanently in a hand back blast ready pose. And of course, they do have the port there so that you can pop in the blast effect without any issue. I'm wondering if they did that because they wanted to include this back piece, but maybe they just haven't had luck in the past. And probably since, too, anytime you're going to use that hand, you're almost always going to have it in a blast pose. So, yeah. And then, of course, he does come with a fisted hand as well, which does have a hinge, so you are back to normal with that. But very basic paint. You got some yellow paint there, and then you do have... yeah, so not bad. And then, of course, he does come with this arm blaster, which will just fit. No problem. There we go. And it just pops on there. And if you try to push it back, it actually is going to want to push forward so that it will mount in the right way. If you put it on like this, you'll notice it's not going to want to stay on. So it does have a specific way that it'll want to stick on there, which is to say essentially over the back of the palm like that. And then you can see it has a port there as well. And same thing, you just take your blast effect and you can put it in there, and there you go. You have that blast cannon. So very cool. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get a better look now at that Tony Stark head sculpt and the Iron Man figure himself. And here we are up close with Iron Man, and a really, really well done figure. The paint that they use on the gold there, looking very metallic, very shiny. The plastic used on the red came out looking good. Eyes came out decent. Very cool looking head sculpt on this. And of course, to pop on the Tony Stark head, we just take that off and then throw Tony's head on there, maybe. Perhaps. There we go. All right. And then looking at that comic book version of Tony, very well done. I like the looks of this head sculpt. The hair looks great, swept forward there, and you can even see like just the bags under his eyes there a little bit, the crease, his little smile lines or whatever you call it there by his nose. His goatee, mustache, and everything came out looking good. Eyes were painted good. This is a very faithful comic book adaptation of the Tony Stark look, and I think they did an awesome job with that. So, yeah, just very cool. Going down the rest of the figure, we can see the continuation of that metallic look there with the red. You get a little bit of a shimmer in it in the light. Same thing with that gold. You can see some of like the gold flaking a little bit there. But paint came out okay. Chest looks decent, not bad. Up close, of course, things always look a little bit, you know, you can see better, so they look a little bit worse sometimes. And chest looks good. Back looks good. I actually liked how they did this, so you got like that spine, and with the ab crunch, it's not really that bad looking on the back. It's not a harsh looking line. Same thing with the front. It's a very good looking transition to the ab crunch. And then going down the rest of the figure, so that gold and red continues on, and obviously there's very little detail on the legs. It's all very smooth, and the feet look fine. Nothing too crazy there. What we got stamped on the bottom? Hasbro. Yep. So yeah, very, very cool figure. But let's go ahead now and take a look at the scale and articulation. And checking out the scale here, we can see the Iron Man is coming in at just over 6.5 inches tall. Looking at the articulation, so we have a head that can go all the way around. He can bury his chin pretty far. He can look up. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. He can look up pretty far as well. He's got arms that can go up in a good T-pose, but you're going to want to be careful. Notice how if I just bring it up, especially if I put pressure, you see how right here, see how that's hitting? So what I found is you can get it up, but you kind of want to support it by pushing down on the shoulder as you do that, and then you can actually get the shoulder to go up without hitting that piece there, because if you just pull on it, you hit that piece. You can see right there, I'm definitely hitting it. So bring it down a little bit, same thing there, and they do come up not too bad. It could be better. He does have, of course, full rotation, though, on the shoulder, and then he does have a bicep swivel. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice that at closer looks. A little paint smudge. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. As I mentioned before, these hands do not have a hinge, just rotation, but his fisted hands do have a hinge on it. He can do that far forward with the ab crunch and that far back with the ab crunch. He's got a waist articulation, legs that can go apart that far, kick forward that far, and they don't really kick backwards, and it wants to flare out when I do that. Then he does have, of course, a upper thigh cut, albeit a very stiff one on this leg, a double jointed knee, and then he does have a hinge as well as ankle pivot. Boy, another stiff hinge though. So he does have a hinge though, and he has ankle pivot. And for a quick comparison, here is everybody standing together. We have the comic characters Iron Man, Namor the Submariner, and Black Bolt, and then the MCU characters Black Panther, Killmonger, Nakia, and Okoye. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And overall, probably one of the better Iron Man figures we've gotten in a long time. I mean, the posability, you know, when's the last time you were able to get an Iron Man figure in something like this, you know, come at me bro type pose? So very good posability, some pretty cool accessories, and the comic book version of Tony that we got for the alternate head is just really well executed, and I think kind of long overdue for the current lineup that we've seen with Marvel Legends to get that comic book unmasked Tony. But anyway, as I mentioned, this is it for the review, guys. Very good figure. Definitely pick him up. You can find him just about anywhere. Right now, the Okoye wave is still very much available. But if you like this review, please hit that like button down below. If you have any comments, leave them for me down below as well. I always love hearing feedback from you guys. And make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.